ProBuilt Systems, solving problems with power.
Alright, welcome back to ProBuilt Systems. What we're going to do today is a tool maintenance / repair. What I have here is the Rigid Multi-Tool. This thing functions, but it overheats very quickly. So I have a lot of wear and tear on this bad boy, as you can see here. This is not a brand new tool. We're going to see if we can breathe some new life into this and see if there's some buildup on the rotor or why this thing is overheating so quickly. So let's get started. Let me grab a parts tray here. You guys might ask why I'm taking this apart, considering rigid tools have a lifetime warranty. Well, this one I forgot to register within the 30 days. That's where they get you. That's the trick to the lifetime warranty, is that A, you got to register your tool within 30 days, and B, in some cases, depending on how friendly your local Home Depot is, you have to mail the tools off. I have had the opposite, where I can go to the Home Depot and they'll do a trade out that day, but it doesn't always go in your favor, and sometimes you end up without your tool for a period of time. But take the good with the bad. This is going to be interesting. Let's see if this extension is narrow enough to get us in there. It does not look like it. So we need some other way to get us down inside there, because even this is too fat. I wonder if we could cheese it here. This is a technique that I use on occasion. If you can get it seated in here and then just turn the tip of the screw. If you take away nothing else from this video, that is a trick you can use when you have a depth of screw that is not viable. Okay. Put this guy back together. This is the old school iFixit kit, which I use a ton. Let me grab a Phillips. Alright. Take this bad boy out. Okay, let's grab a spreader. Let's go with a straight guy here. I want to see, make sure there's no clips, as there often is in these guys. Make sure we're not stripping anything out. I heard a nut fall out. Okay, let's put that guy in there. That's going to be a real shame if this entire thing is held together with nuts and bolts. Ooh. Well, first little jangler. That's the light actuator. Okay, so it looks like the sticker is what's holding us back. Might be able to just cut that bad boy. Okay. Doesn't seem like it's favoring one side. It seems like the motor is going into one side and all the electronics are going into the other. So we're definitely going to have a fun time with this guy. I could see... This thing is not particularly cheap either. I think these things sell for $100 with no... I think they're 100 with no battery. I know they're $100. They might or might not have a battery. See if we can get the motor. There we go. That's what we wanted to free this bad boy. Okay. There's a little bit of elastic here for anti-vibe. There is our, is that our thermometer? It looks like we got a thermometer here that is just contacting, oh, that wasn't anti-vibe. That's literally, the thermometer is glued to the side? Let me double check. Yeah, that's what it looks like. No wonder this thing is turning off in its overheated function. I mean, that's, if I'm correct that that is a thermometer, which it does look like it is, it's going into the brain box. So you can see here, see all this dust around the trigger housing? We have no bellows, no method of prevention in this trigger housing. Even the LED one has a little bit of a rubber coating on it, and it's got just a step that's enough to prevent the bulk of dust ingress. So I'm wondering, so what it seems like is that the motor is the problem with its, let me get this guy back together the way that it was. Okay. Don't want to do too much irreparable damage. I do like this tool. Okay, motor is a little anemic. It's also pretty corroded. This is all they have in there for anti-vibe. It's just these very dirty, like, rubber pads. So I think we need to hit this with the air and then see what we can see about this motor. Let's see if we can get into, I doubt we're going to be able to get very far into this motor. Usually these things are sealed units, and this is not a brushless motor, or it shouldn't be. It's not sold as brushless. But let's see, unless I'm wrong here, let me look at generally the housing will say brushless on it now. So it's not ticketed as a brushless motor, but I can't see, unless they're tiny, yeah, behind these pieces of plastic here. Alright, let's see here. See if we can get in here and do a little clean job. I'm going to bring this up in its orientation to keep those washers in place. Nope. Well, here's another great piece of design. This wire here just popped right out. No solder. It's just a crimp connection. And toast. That's going to be a real pain in the ass to get that guy back in there. Can't get to the hot wire. And then in the interesting. You can tell that where they really are making their considerations is in the mold is designed to retain this magnetic security strip. Look at the design in this mold. This whole tab here is exactly sized for this magnetic security strip. So, just out of spite, let's see if we can't get this guy out of here. Yep. Interesting. This doesn't seem to do anything. Normal registration doesn't. I mean, it's sized exactly to the strip. So either they're using a dual purpose, or it was put in there just to screw us. Okay. So let's see if we can get this guy back. Oh man, this is insane. Let me give you guys a close up on this. Okay, what we're looking at here is the negative wire terminal. It is held in by nothing. It just pops out. It's a compression fitting. So I pulled it out without issue earlier, and then I stuck it back in, and now it's not coming out. All right, well, I guess it's in now, but it was not in very well. All right, so you can get an idea of the construction of this thing. I mean, pretty anemic motor. You can see here all the dust ingress. That's the LED switch. But I think for the main purpose of getting this thing to run better, we need to clean off this. Honestly, I would almost remove this because this piece of celastic is trapping heat where this thermometer is, and that's why it's overheating so quickly. Well, I shouldn't say that's why. Don't want to make any assertions here. We're just using what we got in front of us. But you can see here, there's a thermostat right there, a thermometer, and it's feeding back the temperature of the motor. This might actually be a permanent magnet motor. I'm feeling some magnetics, some magnet poles in here. Okay. All right, let's clean this out with air and then try and put it back together. All right, we got a pretty drastic improvement, just a little bit of air. I don't think I'm going to use any cleaning agent on this thing. Let's get it back together and then see how it works. Do not want to lose these little lock washers. Okay. Now, we need to put back together this locking mechanism, which I believe was spring-loaded on both sides of this. This thing was also not functioning properly. Was it actually on nothing? Seems like it actually was just riding next to it. Okay. Well, that's another one for the books, and it's kind of terrible. I mean, that's the correct direction. It really doesn't have any, like, considering this is how you remove and switch out the tool heads, that's pretty weak, I would say. Okay. And then next thing we want to do is get this guy back together. So our lock body. Let's see how this guy's actuating. Trying to see what the switch actually pushes. So let's take a look here. Oh, I see it. It's all the way down in here. It's actuated back there. Okay. And then next thing is this guy here, which is your forward and reverse. And this actually attaches directly to the motor housing. No, to the switch body, sorry. Talk and chew gum at the same time, they say. And I respond silently because I can't, because I'm chewing gum. All right. Let's see how this guy goes back together. Now that critically we've removed its most important safety feature. Okay, so these feel a lot better already. These were binding up, making it nigh impossible to switch tool heads without jamming your fingers in and then smashing them. Okay, let's feel this guy. This feels good. Switch is locked until we get... Oh, that nut was for the... Okay. The nut was for putting this on. So there's just a floating nut and bolt system in this plastic. So the plastic is not retaining the screw force. It's just a floating nut. Okay. Let's see if I can get this in here without too much trouble. Perfect. So now you guys can see through here, we have that bolt. I was wondering what that went to, because it was kind of an odd spot. We're going to put in half the screws to do ourselves a test run. Make sure we didn't screw anything up, because of course we will. First time apart, it's not a lot of content, and I don't really look up anything about this stuff before I take it apart. I kind of enjoy the learning experience. The courage to take these things apart is all from our patron saint over there, AVE. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave this one in for now, because that's the one that we have to sink the head in order to be able to reach. So let me get another one in here, and then we'll slap a battery on here and see what we got. Okay. Don't know what that was. Like a charm. Okay, now let's see, moment of truth. How does taking these head tools off? Well, still not, well, no, that actually works pretty decent. Definitely better than it did before. Alright, if you guys got any questions, want to see what I break down next, or have any requests, put it down in the comments. I'd like to thank you guys for watching.